to do is to be active. I know that's what General Secretaries say all the time, but the truth of the matter is this. If it's just me or other people on platforms saying we need funding, we need you to respect our members, we need you to understand this is what education needs, and there's no one behind us and there's no one supporting us in that message at local level and branches, at regional level, in any other meeting that you could think of, then it's not going to work. If what I am saying when I'm going in to meet a minister is exactly the same as someone is saying when they are going to meet the local MP or talking to other trade unionists, then we in UCU have a chance. It only works if we all do this together, and since education is what we want to have happen and to happen well, we have got to be active trade unionists. That's what I would like to see.
Education is a fundamental human right. On the global sense, it's there in the Universal Declaration, but it's something that we in the trade union movement have always fought for, the right of everybody, irrespective of their economic circumstances, to be able to obviously go to school, but also to go to college, and if they wish, to go to university or to get an apprenticeship. It's a right.
This is our third conference, Cradle to Grave. Each year it's got better and better, and I think you will agree with me when you look at the list of speakers we have today. This is topping what we had last year, and most importantly, what we have this morning is a very good friend of UCU opening up the conference. A very good friend, a socialist, a believer in peace, a believer in justice, a believer in the power of education, the leader of the opposition, but mainly a really, really good friend to UCU. I'm very pleased to introduce you to Jeremy Corbyn.
Education is of fundamental importance to build a better future for everybody. It's yes about training, yes about the ability to work, but it's also about the value of having an educated society where everybody's imagination is opened up. The austerity agenda, which has been in place now for the past 6 years in Britain, around education, is absolutely a false economy. Cutting in this area will cost us more than it saves. And I say this absolutely clearly, as John McDonnell has said on many occasions, the austerity we're going through in this country is a political choice, not an economic necessity. I thank your union for all that it does, both in the education sphere and in the much wider trade union movement, and I look forward to working closely with you over the next 4 years, developing those ambitions, that inspiration of the kind of society we all want to live in, to unlock the human potential, the joy and the imagination that is there in every individual. That surely is a task worth working together on. Thank you very much for inviting me today.
So the Treasury believes that the university sector is awash with cash. And if you follow think tanks, the recent policy exchange piece on why universities' reserves are so huge, so they should be penalised to cross-subsidise FE, it was completely wrong in accounting terms, but they were asked to do a number on universities, and this is the sort of picture that I'm presenting.
There's a long history of metrics in higher education, and as you're all aware, there are already a lot of metrics out there. What I want to talk about are recent proposals to introduce metrics into research assessment and increasingly into teaching assessment.
I get my idea of the university from the University of Berlin, the first modern European university founded in 1810. The significance of the University of Berlin is that it establishes the university as a site for the production of knowledge and meaning, for research more than teaching.
The cuts are tremendous, really. 25 or 35% plus since 2009, depending on whose figures you go by. And which part of the huge complexity of the funding strands you look at. As compared to HE, rise in income, now not from government, but through tuition and things, of around 25%. That was what the Vice-Chancellor in Wolverhampton was saying the other day.
Removing the bursary stops people like me having the chance to go and train as a nurse or a midwife. Removing the bursary also marks the death of state education. Healthcare courses should be for those who care and not for those who can afford to do so. George Osborne says that this will recruit 10,000 more nurses. Is he mad? Who would pay between £50,000 and £64,000 to work 2,300 hours, to work nights, to work weekends, to work 12.5-hour shifts?
It's about taking those stories of success and making them highly visible in the communities as tools for social justice and challenging inequalities.
I mean, what I'm enjoying about the conference is that it's partly that it's bringing together FE and HE. I mean, as someone who works in a university, I have very little interaction really with people in the FE sector. Very, very interesting to hear about the very different kinds of problems that they're facing. And to see how HE and FE can work together to try and solve those problems.
Actually, I found the conference really, really interesting. I'm glad I came. Certainly very interesting to listen to Jeremy Corbyn. I was saying to a colleague actually over coffee, it took me back 40 years. It reinvigorated me, thinking back to when I joined a union first, when I was about 18 years old. And it makes me feel very excited about the potential in the future for the union.
Well, I think what I enjoyed most was the combination of wider issue with more specific information about the issues of the Open University, which is a good way to start, really. So, on the one hand, the Jeremy Corbyn intervention was very soft-provoking, really, but at the same time, the latest panel we have, really, was very specific about what to do, really, and I think that was a good complement, really.
Basically, listen to the people. The people are the key, especially the young people and the people that's out of work. Listen to them. The education is the key. Without education, there is nothing basically in life to where we're going to go.
It's been good. A range of talks that have been thought-provoking.
Of the talks this morning, I think Andrew was picking up a lot on the idea of the marketisation of higher education and putting together lots of the statistics in kind of formats that's available for us to discuss and engage with, because often we don't realise what's going on.
Politics has to be something that you do, otherwise it's done to you. We need lifelong learning, we need broad learning, we need, goodness knows we need, to value creative subjects, arts subjects. We need something really different. We need urgently, we can't wait to 2020, we need to fight for real political change now. We need to fight for a different electoral system, one that people know their vote counts.
The network allows us to reconfigure human relationships as many to many, to destroy and corrode hierarchies. Because knowledge is not democratically distributed. And I think the education system must, whatever form it takes, must pursue the goal that in a knowledge and information economy, that absolute practical knowledge that if you're just aiming for the middle of the graph where there's no shortage, don't do it. It's simple as that. Must be the property not just of careers teachers or the students themselves, but they must be the property of people who wish to pursue social justice within the education system, and that includes the unions.
It was great to hear the official leader of the opposition literally listing out our policies. I never thought I'd live to see the day, I have to say, but I'm willing to believe this and I'm willing to really go with this, and I think that we should as a union. But what we have to do, it seems to me, is really look at what's taking place at the moment with this government. Austerity is designed to make us all look to ourselves, to make us look inward, to make us individualised, to stop us being collectivised, to stop us having some sense of society. That's what an austerity agenda is designed to do. We have got to be looking at developing policy that's about growth in education, that's about forward thinking in education, which is about access in education. An example, one that you'll hear me talking about a lot, and only one example, but about having post-qualification admissions, opening up the system, making it more possible for those who come from different backgrounds to have the same chance to get in. All of those things are ones that the union has to do, and that means that we've got to be very, very clear about investing in ideas, investing in policy, investing in thought and discussion, and not be afraid to do it.
My key message to the members of the UCU, who I've worked with for many years in local campaigns and national campaigns, is get active in the union, make your contribution to discussion, to debate and to policy, make your contribution to debates with lots of other unions. It's the trade union movement that can defend education against the massive cuts it's facing at the present time. It's the trade union movement that will lead us to those sunnier uplands when there will be cheaper, better education for all in our society. Unlock the talent and potential that's there in everybody. Education, universal right for all.